Welcome to this video. This is about how to avoid losing money on Google AdWords. So first of all, I'm going to kind of just browse or go through really quickly here how to get signed up for Google AdWords. Basically, you just go to adwords.google.com and you would need a Google account. If you don't have one, they will prompt you to sign up a Google account, like a Gmail account or whatever, and then you always would log into AdWords with that Google account. And then you will see when you're in the interface something like this. Now there is another product, a simpler product called AdWords Express, and basically it's not recommended. Most people don't recommend it. Here's an article I found, one of many articles I've found online that list the reasons that AdWords Express can be a big waste of money. Basically, the keywords are chosen automatically based on the selected industry. I think you can select some of your own keywords, but they're all broad match. You can't be specific and get exact matching for, which means when someone types a word or a phrase into Google search, with phrase match, exact match, you can have your ads show for exactly what they type or for exactly part of what they type. And you can't do that with AdWords Express, so that's a big thing. And then you don't have any negative keywords, so you can't prevent your ads from showing for some things that you don't want them to show for. So you're going to get some clicks for some things from people that are trying to search for something else. So that's not good. And then there's no tracking options, and it's Google's trying to make it easier for businesses to spend money with them, basically. So AdWords Express I don't recommend. I think it's most likely for most people a good way to waste money. And you can use AdWords itself, the real AdWords, without having to learn everything, because there's so much to it. But you can just use the basics, and that's what I'm going to show you here, is just some basic things and some really important things to avoid so that you don't waste money on it, because a lot of people still use AdWords, the regular AdWords, and still waste a lot of money. So basically with AdWords, when you create a campaign, I'm going to go to the screen where when you first start up an AdWords account, they will walk you through starting a campaign, but once you've done one, you can still add more campaigns. And the basic structure is a campaign, and then within that you can have multiple ad groups, and within the multiple ad groups you can have multiple ads, and then you can have keywords within the ad groups as well. So if I pick one ad group, let's say just click on this ad group, now I'm in the keywords within this ad group. So I've got a campaign. This is the campaign I'm in here. All right, and then so this is the ad group right here then. So we've got the campaign right here and the ad group here. Over on the left, we can see we're in this this ad group under this campaign right here. All right, and then you can work through these tabs within the ad group. So you can see all the ads that are within this ad group and the ad extensions, which we won't really get into here, but these are good to use. So it's worth looking into those, because it gives you more information. Your ad can show more stuff and take up more room on the screen if you take advantage of these, and they're free to use, these extensions. Okay, and then the keywords again. So you can add as many keywords as you want. One of the things you can do to save money is not add too many keywords, because if you add too many, your ads will be triggered by things that you probably don't want them to be triggered by. You want to keep the focus narrow. You just want your ads showing to the people that are most likely to buy from you. So who it applies to the most based on what they type in for search. So probably a half a dozen keywords, and keep the focus tight. When you click adding keywords, you can add different keyword types here. Let's say that we're adding cowboy boots. Let's say we sell, or let's just say we sell dress shoes. So you can do that for one keyword, hit enter, and you're down to the next line. We can also put the keyword in quotes like that, and that means that that's a phrase match. So that means that your ad will be triggered if someone types these words along, but it could be more. It can be more than just those words. It can be I'm shopping for dress shoes, and this keyword will trigger that. Trigger your ad to show if they type that in for a search phrase. And then we have the exact match. So this means that the searcher has to type in those exact words for this keyword to trigger your ad to show. Now, if I have the same words in all three of these, you might think it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense because you'll get better rates and a better match and show up higher if you match somebody with an exact match. That's the best, and then the second best is phrase match, and then the third is the broad match. So don't just use a broad match, especially for terms that are very relevant to what you're doing. I always put all three variations of these in. Okay, I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to add those to there. But again, the keywords tab, the ads tab. And then if you hit settings here, you got to go back to the campaign settings because the settings apply to the campaign. And that's where you can look at, the search area. And this again could cause you to waste money if you don't have this searching right. The location, let's see now, what do we have here? That's just the name. The type, you would never want to change that once you've started. The networks that you're on, I always leave both of those on. So it's the Google Search Network plus partners, devices, all, and location here. So you would want to make sure that this is right. Now, if you don't want to target the whole country, then you want to, add your town to that. So we could say advanced search, maybe, or town or whatever. And if you use radius targeting like that there, and put your town in, if that applies to you, got to hit search to get it to find it. Okay, and then I can say add, and now we're searching for that. Say done, but I also have United States, so I have to remove that. Okay, and so now if we go to advanced search again, we can see 20 miles around Alexandria, Minnesota, and there's the map, and you can zoom in and out on this too. So you can see that, and you can put any miles, any number of miles you want for radius targeting. If I was also to add the town here, like that, then it adds the town with the boundaries. So that's, don't use that in addition to the other thing. That doesn't really make sense. You can just remove that, just leave it as a radius targeting. And then you have to click done. But I don't want to click done here because I don't want to change what I was doing for this. This is an old campaign anyway, but I just want to leave it. Okay. And then, of course, you got language and bid strategy. Would just leave it the way it is. That's fine. And budget, whatever you want to have for a budget. So you need to keep that in mind. And then if you wanted to spend like $35 a day for 5 days, you can multiply that out and see what it adds up to. Or for 10 days, $350. Or you can spend $5 a day. You can spend anything you want. And then you can look at this and set an end date on the schedule. You can go over to the billing and payments, and that's where you have your credit card entered, and then you have, and so we can see payment methods here and transactions. you can inject money. Now this is the way it used to work. I don't think it works this way anymore, but you could like put $100 in there and then just let Google spend it. But I think now the way it works is it just runs your ads, and then when it gets up to a certain balance, it takes money out of your credit card automatically. So you got to keep an eye on it if that's the way it's set up for you. I don't think you have the option of setting it up the other way anymore. This is an old account, and that's why that works. So anyway, you just got to keep an eye on things. The best way to avoid wasting money on Google AdWords is to not ignore it. Just keep an eye on it and know what you're spending. So if we look at this campaign again now, let's look at the campaign we were at. And these are all the ad groups within the campaign. Here's your, you can look at the time or change the time for this graph and see at a glance what you're spending per day or per, this is monthly actually, but I can't do weekly and daily because I'm going way back too far. But if your date range only covers a couple months or a year or so, you can have it go out to, the graph can be 1 point per day, so you can see what it's spending per day. And you can change these, like this is clicks, that's impressions, but I can say cost here and I can see how much. So in this case I spent $115 in May of 2012 for 22 clicks. So and that's for the whole ad group. Now you can look at individual ads, and then you can see what we've spent here, and you can see over here the for this ad we had 0 clicks in this date range, and I must have had some other ads that ran that spent the money. So anyway, get your settings right so that you don't waste money. Get your keywords right. Don't have a lot of keywords. Keep to like a half a dozen or so, and make sure that you use the exact match and the phrase match, and make sure that your keywords are pretty specific. If you're a store that sells shoes, categorize things into ad groups so that one ad group says dress shoes, one ad group says casual shoes, one ad group says ladies shoes, one says cowboy boots, whatever. Categorize things down, and then have just the keywords be specific to that group, and have the ad call out that specific group as well. So your ads should be specific. And when you create an ad, then you've got this, and you can see the preview for desktop or for mobile, how the ad will look. And you want your URL, where people go when they click on it, you want that to go to the specific topic of the ad group. Okay, so you don't want to just throw them on your homepage. If you're advertising dress shoes and somebody typed in that they're looking for dress shoes, they see your ad talking about dress shoes because your keyword about dress shoes triggered your ad about dress shoes. So that person who's interested in dress shoes clicks on the ad. You don't want them to end up on a page that has all kinds of shoes. You want them to end up on a page that talks about dress shoes. You want to keep it focused on the topic all the way through, and that is really the key to winning with AdWords and to not wasting money. Of course, you want to have the following call to action be appropriate as well, so that they know what to do, so it's clear to them, so that they know what to do next. Okay, and that's the whole answer to being successful with AdWords, and probably all advertising in general online, is to be specific and keep it consistent and be clear and have a call to action so that people know what to do next. Do they call your store? Do they want directions to come in? Do they want a little more information? Think about what they would want when they're going through clicking from your ad to your website. And what are they seeing when they land on your website? That topic should be the same as what the ad's about and what they searched about. Okay, and then Google will reward you with better relevant scores, quality scores they call them in Google, and you'll get cheaper clicks, and you'll be showing up higher up on the search engines, on Google, on the Google search engine, and everything will start working better if you are just careful about that and specific. And you don't have to be that smart to just do this. You just have to know that that's what you need to do. Keep your keywords limited to a half a dozen that are talking about that subject. Okay, and if you go to this thing here, you can see what people searched for. These are actual terms that people typed in. You can see, and someone typed in this, AdWords help, and I got 3 clicks. It showed up 116 times. My ad did, because of when people typed this in. But I got 3 clicks. The click-through rate's 2.5%, which is not bad. This one, look at this. AdWords Google support AW. So apparently that was typed in a couple times or 3 times, because my ad showed 3 times. I got 2 clicks. That's very specific. AdWords Google support. Okay, 2 out of 13. That's a very good click-through rate. Now these, someone typed in $100 AdWords credit. That's not the person I wanted to click my ad, and it cost me $1.07 for them to click that ad. And I know they're not my customer because they're just looking for one of those AdWords credit coupons. So I added that as a negative keyword. And that's how you avoid wasting money. You save money by adding some negative keywords, which you cannot do in Google AdWords Express. So that's a good reason not to use Google AdWords Express, but to use the regular version of AdWords. Here's someone asking about an AdSense account. That's not what I was going after with this ad either, so I excluded that. So right there is a waste of $1.09 for me, that 1 click. But if I wouldn't have checked this, I might have gotten more clicks like that and wasted more money. So if you add those negative keywords when you know they should be negative. There, I added that for a couple others as well. Okay, this is not a video that's supposed to be about how to learn Google AdWords. There's lots of videos out there for that. Google has a lot of videos on YouTube for that, for just that, and they can explain it better than me. But I wanted to just cover these methods about saving money and not wasting money with Google AdWords, because Google will take your money if you waste it. They're not gonna, and they're not really gonna help you because they don't have the resources to help every individual person. They do want you to succeed with Google AdWords so that you keep using it, but the main goal up for them is that you spend money with it. And if you waste money with it, they're not going to notice and they're not going to help you. And so that's the purpose of this video, is to try to help you avoid wasting your money with Google AdWords. So I hope this has been helpful, and comment below and send me a message or whatever. If you have questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. And I'm going to sign off for this video, and I hope to see you in another video. Thanks a lot.